Hi, this is Dave, and welcome to Moonride, where we're channeling the man in the moon. So, I keep getting this sort of Eleanor Roosevelt feeling. I've always admired Eleanor Roosevelt. She thinks she's really one of the greatest Americans. It is contested that she was actually a better president than her husband. She just gave lots of advice, and had she been a man, she would have been the president. So, I consider her very much a heroic person. Let's see what she has to say. One of the most important things about her work is that she was an egalitarian. So I forget her name, but Marion, she had a black woman sing. The black woman was not allowed to sing indoors because of racism, and she found a place for her to sing outside the Washington Monument, I think. And Marion, I can't remember her name, but that's just sort of highlighting the most important thing that she did, which was really be very active for minority people at a time where that was a very unusual thing to do. Just a very selfless thing to do. She just did it because it was right. And she is just telling me, she was glad to walk that path. She was glad to walk the path that brought some benefit to others. It was difficult. She had to follow a very strict sort of path. Any mistakes would have been really hard to recover from. And in a way, she's glad, so that she kind of had to become the woman that she became in her life. There were a lot of dangers. So now I just ask, what should Americans do right now? Stay focused. She stayed focused for all of the years of her husband's presidency. She never stopped. Every day she had a goal. Every day she did her best to accomplish that goal, and that's what we need to do right now. She said, you can't sit around and complain right now. Get this task done, right? You have to go and do your political work however you need to do it right now. It may not entail going outside, but what can you do indoors? And how can you remain focused on the needs of the people? So don't get distracted by this twaddle, nonsense, falderall stuff. Just go directly to what needs to get done. And don't let people involve you in ego arguments. What needs to get done? Just keep coming back to the point. What needs to get done? What are the practical solutions right now to the fact that 40% of the children in America don't have enough to eat right now? I know that's an exaggerated number, but she just wants us to get down to children are hungry. We don't have time to argue over who dyes their hair and who's fat and all that stuff. Yeah, look within your own soul. What are you doing right now? What's the right thing to do? These are important questions to consider. Are you going to go out of this life having not accomplished the things that you're supposed to do? One of which is to care for your other humans. Now, people have different situations, different abilities, so she doesn't want anybody to feel, bad that they're, homebound and unable to do something. What can you do, even if it's a small thing? Act in love. Try to avoid acting out of anger. Try to avoid that's a trap. Try to act in love. It doesn't mean that you won't ever get angry. It just means don't do your actions within that space. You might even be motivated by anger, but go to love in terms of your actions and how you do it, even with the person who's standing in your way, right? Because maybe the person standing in your way is supposed to teach you something about how to overcome it. So just try to be as neutral as possible right now. Be generous. She's making me a pie right now. And enjoy the richness, the sweetness of things to sustain you, because you can't just keep on forever doing this kind of constant work. Have a piece of pie yourself. It's got to be something that you savor. Call to action. Call as many people to action as you can. Get as many people involved in doing things as you can. And remember, nobody thought she could accomplish anything. She was considered very unattractive in her lifetime. She was somewhat in a position of power, but her father had died of alcoholism. Her mother constantly criticized her. No one thought she could become this incredibly important woman. Maybe one of the most important women, I'm going to say one of the most important women in American history. Nobody thought she could do that. So don't be limited by these past opinions of what your school teacher said about you. She said I had horrible things said about me. None of them were true, and I just had to buck up and not listen to that, right? And accept that those were just unhappy people. Yeah, go back to love when you're doing these actions and you feel kind of off your feet. Just go back to, what does it mean to be a loving person? How would a loving person handle this? This doesn't mean that you should say yes to everybody or help everybody. That's not the case. Just come back to, what would love do? Sometimes love would say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to help you. You're not worthwhile. You're not being honest, whatever that might be. I'm just going to ask right up, when is this going to be over? February. That's what I get. First word that comes into my mind is February. Mm. And I am seeing some medicine. And everybody's just kind of going, whew, right? Like, wow, we missed it. Yeah, something involving the children. So I know children are having some effects. Not exactly the same as adults, but there's been some effects on children. They will be some of the important people that the medicine protects. Yeah, I see it specifically for children. It might even be that somehow we find a cure because we research the children and there's some connection, but I see children and I see like a, shot. And I see people getting better and people look relieved. Can you guys tell me more? Okay, I was going to ask again about February. And what I see are snowflakes. You will not find that here in Australia. You will find it, of course, in the United States. It makes me think of winter in the United States. Lots of snowflakes and relief. People going out and playing in the snow. People just taking a sigh of relief and letting their kids go play. Something will be relieved then. Eleanor, do you have anything else for us? She says her hearts are broken. Our hearts are indeed broken. It's up to us, each person, to sort of repair that broken heart again. And she just wishes us well in doing that. It might take a lot of steps to repair your heart. Meditate, go in there, find out how you feel, talk to your friends about how you feel, find somebody you can communicate about this with, and that will begin the process of sort of repairing your heart and getting you ready for the next stage of battle. Remember, you couldn't have gone into this battle without a little heart wound. It sort of needed to be attended to and needed us to take a look at heart and how you feel before we could have gone on to the next step. We can't have the next phase of humanity without understanding our hearts a lot better. It just will not work, as we are seeing right now. And she's actually showing me the virus. And she's showing me something about how it works. That's a weird image. It's strange. I'm kind of seeing a chicken, but it's made of metal. I wonder if there isn't some testing going on, like a testing something that's mimicking how a chicken would act, but it's like technology to find out how to cure the disease. And it also could be how it spreads. Just the animal droppings might be a way that it's spread. It might not be even through a bat. It might be that it's through something much more common. Is that what we're getting? They'll figure it out. They will figure it out. That's what I'm being shown, like kind of climbing up a hill, and then there's a glorious sunset. There will be a climb. It will take some time, but they will find a cure. That's what she's saying, and we will all be very much relieved. Understand that in 6 months, everything's going to be different, right? We're going to have a different president. We'll have a different America in a way, a different time. We will have all been through these terrible hardships. She's just saying, look, take a breath, take a breather, and keep going. Don't forget love. Don't forget to attend to your heart. All right. Thanks for watching.